Hey, konnichiwa. O genki desu ka? Right, how's everything going, everyone? Konnichiwa, and once again, welcome to this mini Japanese conversation course. I'm your host, once again, Naeem Muhammad. And yep, so we're just going to go over some more basics regarding the language of Japanese. So let's get started. So once again, just welcome back there. Hopefully you really enjoyed the last session. Mini segment. It was a bit long, I must admit, but hopefully once again, you derived a lot of value from it. We learned, it was lesson 3, and from lesson 3 we learned a lot of essential phrases, such as excuse me, where are you from, and I don't understand, which are, of course, sumimasen, uh, Goshu wa doko desu ka and wakarimasen, respectively. So, if you forgot, then no problem. Please feel free to go back to lesson 3. And yeah, and so that should be a really cool thing. In addition, we also learned about really cool weather and nature related vocabulary, words such as weather, mountain, hot, and cold. So I think that we jumped a bit into adjectives and things of that nature immediately following that. Yep. And so that was pretty cool. And speaking of adjectives and things of that nature, we just had to, I sent you a brief, like, mini assignment suggestion to create 3 sentences using the sentence structure formula, which of course was A Y B des, in addition to the adjectives and words. So that was the assignment from last time, mini assignment. Once again, it was, completely optional. You didn't have to do it. But I believe that you should have found it to have been a worthwhile idea. So very well. Great. And so the overview for today will be as follows. So we're going to learn about how to order at a restaurant, in addition to some food and place-related vocabulary. Last but not least, we will learn about verbs and adjectives. So it's going to be really cool stuff. All right, so let's see if we can get started. Hajimemashou. All right, let's get started. All right, so of course, first off, we're going to be learning about how to order at a restaurant. So there are essentially 8 major expressions that we're going to use for this. Uh, of course, they will all be preceded by one major thing that I want you to learn most of all, and it is the food ordering formula, or in other words, how to order food in Japanese. So in Japanese, to order food, we just use the food item plus the number of items and then please, and that's it. So food item plus number plus please. And of course, that would lead us to a brief introduction on numbers. But first, I'm going to list the food number formula here. So, for instance, if you want to order sashimi, we would say something like sashimi o onegai shimasu. Sashimi onegai shimasu. So that would be without units. So if you want to just order it that, then that would be great. We could also say like um, one burger. So using the formula, we would say the food item first. So of course that would be burger. So hanbaga, and then hitotsu. So hitotsu would be one, and then onegai shimasu. So once again, hanbaga or hitotsu onegai shimasu. Hanbaga hitotsu onegai shimasu. And that's how we would order food. So you just once again use the food item plus the number plus please. So we're just going to jump into numbers as well, just really basic numbers. Of course, it's not on the list here, but I feel as though it would be very important to list it. So let's go over some of the numbers. Well, actually, in Japanese, there are 2 kinds of numbers. Yeah, a way to make matters worse. So we have the Japanese number system and the Chinese number system. Today, we're going to go over the Chinese number system. You should be really familiar with it. Somewhat familiar with it. Uh, Yes, number 1 is ichi, number 2 is ni, number 3 is san, number 4 is shi, number 5 is go, number 6 is roku, number 7 is nana or shichi, number 8 is hachi, number 9 is kyu, and number 10 is ju. And so those are from those are from essentially the Chinese number system, or based on it. So, yeah, really simple there. Great. And so let's see if we can go over some phrases related to ordering at a restaurant. The first phrase is, can I have a little more time? All right, so can I have a little more time? So, of course, this will be used when you're trying to make your order, going through the menu, of course. And that phrase is,もう少し時間をいただけますか? もう少し時間をいただけますか? And number three is, what do you recommend? I'm sorry, number two is, what do you recommend? So, what do you recommend is, おすすめは何ですか? おすすめは何ですか? Number three is, do you have a children's menu? That is, お子様メニューはありますか? お子様メニューはありますか? Pretty well. Then we have number four. Do you have a vegetarian menu? A vegetarian menu wa arimasu ka? I wish I was making that up, but that's real Japanese. So we have the word, just vegetarian, yep, vegetarian, and then menu. Vegetarian menu wa arimasu ka? So that's number four there. Number five is, can I have the bill, please? So of course, after eating, this is what you would want to say. お勘定お願いします. お勘定お願いします. There we go. And number six is, well, speaking of eating, this is the phrase that we would use before eating. You're probably really familiar with this. It's been, used in a lot of animations. So this is the formula here, the phrase, so to speak. Itadakimasu, itadakimasu. So that's the phrase that we would use before eating. In other words, saying grace. Number six is, number seven is the phrase that we would use after eating. And so it would be ごちそうさまでした. ごちそうさまでした. And so ごちそうさまでした is the phrase used after eating. Yeah. Well, it also means thank you for the meal. So there you go. And number eight is, everything is on this person. So if you're anything like me, people always say this about me, when it comes to going to restaurants. So if you want to say that, it is the following. この人は全部を払います. 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 So there you go. All right, so that means that this person will pay for everything. Yeah, so there you go. All right, so speaking of food and beverages, we're going to learn some vocab related to those kinds of things, followed by some shop vocab. So we're going to learn about how to say restaurant, school, and how to say breakfast, things of that nature. So number one is food. So food is tabemono, tabemono. Number two is beverage, nomimono, nomimono. Number three is breakfast, asagohan, asagohan. Number four is lunch, hirugohan, hirugohan. Number five is supper or dinner, bangohan, bangohan. Number six is where we get into shops or stores, places. Number six is post office. Post office is yubinkyoku, yubinkyoku. Number seven is restaurant, restaurant, restaurant. Another word for restaurant is inshokuten. So that's another word to essentially remember there. Number eight is school. School is gakko, gakko. All right, and number nine is office. Office is ofisu. It can also be jimusho, jimusho. So very good there. And we have number 10. Number 10 is museum. Hakubutsukan, hakubutsukan, hakubutsukan. So there you go. All right, and so now we're on the grammar segment. So as we stated previously, we went over the adjectives and everything like that last time. Hopefully you really enjoyed them. We went over the types of adjectives, like there's the e and na adjectives, as well as the conjugations, how to conjugate them in the present, affirmative, present negative, and past affirmative and past negative. So those are really important there. So today we're going to go over some verb conjugations. Basically with the verbs, we would essentially go over the following. So first I'm going to go over the verb list for today. So we have 5 verbs that we will learn about today. So number 1 is, well, actually all of these verbs will be listed in the polite form to save time. And so in the polite form, we will use the present affirmative. So that would be like, yes, he does something, things like that. And so let's see if we can go to number 1. So to go is ikimasu, ikimasu. To eat is tabemasu, tabemasu. To drink is nomimasu, nomimasu. So that is number 3. To speak is hanashimasu, hanashimasu. And number 5 is to meet, aimasu, aimasu. Alright, and so basically to conjugate that, so they were already in present affirmative. So we have ikimasu, tabemasu, nomimasu, hanashimasu, and aimasu. So those are all the conjugations there. If we want to go to negative, saying that he doesn't go, or she doesn't eat, or they don't drink, we would say the following: ikimasen, ikimasen. He doesn't. They don't go. Tabemasen. They don't eat. Nomimasen. I don't drink. Hanashimasen. We don't speak. And number 5, to meet, would be aimasen. They don't meet. And so, of course, once again, we have to remember that verb conjugations do not depend on a person. So that's very important to remember. So let's see if we can get into the past tense. So the past tense is really simple. So we take the mas away and then replace it with mashita. It's mashita. So if we want to say went, we would say ikimashita. Went for number 1. If we want to say ate, we would say tabemashita. There we go, number 2. For number 3, if we want to say drank, we would say nomimashita. If we want to say number 4, spoke, we would say hanashimashita. And if we want to say met, we would say aimashita. So there you go. And for the negative past tense, like didn't go, we would say something along the lines of ikimasen deshita. Ikimasen deshita. For didn't eat, we would say tabemasen deshita. For didn't drink, we would say nomimasen deshita. For didn't speak, we would say hanashimasen deshita. And for didn't meet, we would say aimasen deshita. And so that's really simple. So once again, the conjugations are as follows. So we have mas for present affirmative. Masen would be present negative. Past affirmative would be mashita. And then past negative would be masen deshita. So there you go. So all we have to remember is the verb stem plus mas, masen, mashita, masen deshita. So that's really, really simple there. Alright, and so that is the lesson for today. Hopefully you really enjoyed it. Arigatou gozaimashita. Thank you very much. And, I'm sorry, first we have to go over the mini assignment. So the mini assignment is basically a build off of the last segment. So the assignment is to please create 5 sentences using the grammar patterns that we've learned so far. And we have another assignment. Please continue listening and or watching TuneIn Radio or Crunchyroll. So please feel free to do that. If you want, you can always do them at the same time. Just watch an episode of Naruto or whatever while creating the 5 sentences. Speaking of, one thing that I wanted to say was that please do not. Please do not watch the anime or whatever programs. Please do not watch it with subtitles. Just a matter of personal experience. Alright, and so that's basically it there. So once again, it's your host signing off for today. Thank you very much. It was a great session today. Arigatou gozaimashita. Hopefully you found it to be very helpful. And if not, if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be putting up some more videos related to language learning in a few other areas. So once again, thank you very much. You did really well today. Arigatou gozaimashita. お疲れ様でした。And また明日. Alright, see you tomorrow. Cheers.